Hello everyone, I'm Olga. I'm Ukrainian who fled Ukraine because of war, and I end up in UK. Traditionally in the end of the year, people summarizing how the year passed, and I guess this year was very crazy and challenging for me. So it's nice to summarize it. And from the good point of view, already from the mentally stable point of view, okay, so many people, they consider that refugees, they are just sitting and waiting once they will be able to abuse some other country, go live in social payments, receive some benefits from the government and leave and not work. And maybe there are such kind of refugees in reality, but I guess Ukrainians are definitely not the type, or at least something like maybe 99% of Ukrainians definitely didn't target to be refugees and end up in another country. Shortly, I will describe you my way, how it happened. So I want to say that me personally, I didn't target at all to left Ukraine. Even in the first day of war, when the war started, I still wasn't thinking that I will go abroad. But you are living on that moment, I understand, you are living in some situation that you never experienced before. And actually nobody in Europe so far experienced situations when you wake up and you have rocket attacks all over the country, bombings, tanks coming, you can find that artillery shelling just your houses around. And I see that the school where I used to go with my kid in Ukraine, exactly, they hit it by rocket. So that was something very crazy, the things once you are really not able to understand what you need to do. And for sure, most of people, they panic, they don't know what they want to, what should be their actions. And as per pyramid of Maslow, the need in safety is the second need after need of physical basic things. So besides going to eat and going to washroom, the second thing which you need to feel is that you are safe. And that was the reason why most of people, while they didn't feel safe anywhere in Ukraine because it was literally everything bombed, they made a decision to go abroad. My family decided that we need to go abroad on the second day of war.
So this is cutie. Leaving our household. Yeah, Mama is here. I hope we are moving just for a couple of weeks, but let us see how the things will really go.
And it was not because really I was feeling so much unsafe in my home, but it was more about the panic everywhere around you in the whole country. So whatever messages you read, you find how everybody is living. You are going outside on the street, you see huge traffic, huge lines to the gas stations, to ATM, in shops, everywhere. You see the news because all the programs got cancelled, and you just watch news 24/7, how in Kiev there is a panic, how more and more and more rockets come into your country. And for sure, in such moment, you cannot think about anything that I just need to grab the kids and run anywhere outside and let me see what will happen. So we decided to leave Ukraine on the second day of war, and we took 4 days to stay on the border. And so actually we left Ukraine something like on 5th or 6th day of war. By that moment, we decided to go to Poland just because it was the neighboring country. We had option to go to Poland or to go to Hungary or to go to Romania. And I wanted to go to Poland because I understand Polish, like Ukrainian speaker, you always can understand Polish, unlike Hungarian and Romanian, which are totally different language family. So I was thinking that yes, this would be the best. And my initial plan was that we will go as a tourist, we will rent an apartment on Airbnb, we will stay some time, like 2 weeks, and let us see what will happen. So unfortunately, the things didn't went well on the first month actually of attack on Ukraine, and every day the situation was getting more and more and more bad. And here I want to talk about many Ukrainians. So Ukrainians who start leaving Ukraine and who start going to specific countries. Many of them was having, every of them actually, has their own story. First, number one choice, this is go to anywhere outside where you have relatives. And believe me, all relatives, they start contacting their people in Ukraine and said, come to stay with me in my home, in my country. That's how Ukrainians start spreading to Europe, to so many different countries, exactly because they had relatives. The second thing is friends. So I'm sure that I have a lot of foreigners who has friends in Ukraine and they propose them, come and stay with me or come to my country, I will help you, because people naturally wanted to help and they were proposing to Ukrainians, come and stay in my place, especially if somebody had accommodation, they all was proposing it for Ukrainians. And that's how so many Ukrainians who even don't have family abroad, but they have some friends or friends of their friends, and they know that they can go somehow and stay with them in their places for some time until everybody will figure out actually what they need to do next. For me, I didn't really have friends in European countries, and I had a lot of subscribers who was writing me for sure that you can come to me and stay with me and so on. But also we were a lot of people because I took 2 kids, 2 parents with me. So we actually was very fine to go and rent apartment on Airbnb and stay as long as we need to stay. The problem came when apartments on Airbnb first became not available because it's like 2 or 3 million people flooded Poland, and they even didn't go spread it all the territory, but they hit specifically to some big cities where we also go to one of the big cities, and it became very hard actually to find and rent apartment at all in Poland. First apartment which I booked, it was in Krakow, and I guess I instantly booked it something like for 5 or 6 days because I didn't know how long we need to stay, and I was really hoping on that time that maybe that would be enough to return back to Ukraine. And after that I start searching for all around Poland. I find one city called Gdynia. This is a port city, very beautiful. I find also one 3-bedroom apartment. I rented in the most period that I could. It was something like, I guess, 10 days. And during that time we was still planning to figure out what should we do next. On that time, most of the countries, they was just thinking what they need to do with all these Ukrainian refugees. The first one came European Union in general, and they said that Ukrainians are allowed to stay more than 90 days because as per visa free we can stay only 90 days, and they said okay, it's fine, we understand they will be refugees, we will give them opportunity to stay for something like 1.5 years or 1 year, so they don't need to be worried that after 90 days they need to return back to Ukraine, especially there was already people who was already staying in Europe for some time. For me, I didn't really think about staying anywhere except Poland. If I would be able to rent an apartment in Poland, I would for sure stay in Poland and not move anywhere else. I don't have these ideas like some people who believe that Poland is also not safe, you know. I believe if there will be attack to Poland, then there will be nowhere safe in Europe at all. And I don't really believe that this could happen in the nearest time, so I didn't have such ideas. My problem was that apartments were not simply available for rent, they became all booked, or the one which was available, it was about $300–400 per night, which was for sure insane price for Poland. So actually we start thinking that if we need to go to any other country, this should be English speaking country, just because we speak English. And on that moment, UK said that we can just make border more wider a variety of family members who can come, and we didn't have any family in UK, so UK wasn't an option for us. Another was US, which all our family had visa, so we could directly go to US just as a tourist, because so many people was writing and suggesting you go through Mexico. No, I shouldn't go through Mexico. I could go directly through the normal flights to US. But my problem was that US wasn't given a clear understanding, do you have right to work or not? Because I'm not that type that just reach and then you will figure out what to do. I wanted to have the secure understanding that I can come, I can work, I would be able to rent apartment and so on. While US wasn't given on that moment that answer that for sure you will have right to work with a travel visa, then I wasn't really considering this option. This would be maybe my last option that I would consider because of all these problems. And country number 3, which was for me the most choice, and I was sure that I will go there, it was Canada. Because from the beginning they said that, we will simplify the things for Ukrainians so much. We will make them, I guess, 3 years residence. They already talk about that. They will have right to work straight away. And we're just working on the system, so you just have to wait. Once we will figure out with the system how we need to make it working technically. So actually with all that things, I decided that yes, most likely we will go to Canada. This seems the most good option for us. And we just need to wait once Canada will figure out what they need to do. On that moment, again, I still stuck with the problem of renting an apartment in Poland, and we should find just some other country which is not such overloaded by Ukrainian refugees. And on that time we got our uncle of my husband. He said that he has, who is living in Denmark, he said he has separate apartment which he was renting to somebody, and these people is living, and if we want we can come and stay in this apartment for as much time as we need, and that would be fine. So we actually decided that maybe we need to go there, just because we didn't find any other available option. Even Denmark was a bit far, a bit on the side, but we didn't know anything about this country. But yes, on that moment it was the best solution, especially that we cannot keep spending money, keep spending and spending and spending while we have actually no clear future, how long we need to stay in these countries at all, and we need to save some money for renting an apartment in our some kind of final destination. So we went to Denmark, and by my worst bad luck, Denmark didn't have any consulate of Canada where you can do a fingerprint and apply for visa, because on that moment exactly Canada came with the decision that yes, now Ukrainians can apply, and we had to drive very big long trip back, and I'm not one person, so I have 2 parents and 2 kids, and such kind of travel requires a lot of hotels on the way, a lot of stops on the way, a lot of money, a lot of hassle actually, and you need to travel twice, one time to bring the passport, do the fingerprint, I guess another time to take passport. So it became, we wasn't able to really decide that, okay, now we need to go, we need to do this, to apply for visa. And on this moment, while we was thinking and deciding how we can go to apply for this Canadian visa, UK came with proposal that, okay, now everybody can come to UK who will find a sponsor. And we got contacted by my client, The girl, she was ready to sponsor us. She find us few more sponsors in the same city for us, and at the end she find us two sponsors for me and for my parents. And she said, come to UK, this is very beautiful country, this is very nice. And we decided that actually the process of applying for visa didn't require us to go to apply to the embassy, and we could do this from Denmark while we already was staying there. We decided that maybe we need to apply for British visa. I didn't know a lot about UK as well, but we just decided that it seems it's a better option. So we can come, have visa, and later we can find work and rent apartment and live in UK. So that is somehow the shortened story how really I end up in UK, because when I was staying in Denmark, I understood how much is it complicated to stay in the country where you don't know a lot of things. You need to figure out everything from scratch, because Poland is naturally much more close to Ukraine and it's much more understandable for Ukrainians, while Denmark, it's totally another world. And it's not about it is bad or it is good, it is totally different. You have totally different system of everything. You have different language which you don't understand at all. So if Polish language I can understand because they are from the same Slavic language family, Danish language is totally different, and whatever signs you have, whatever books you come to the library, whatever cinema you want to go, you will not understand anything, and this is for sure super uncomfortable. So since we came to UK and we saw this English everywhere, you was feeling this was like, you know, as a breeze of fresh air. Wow, finally language that I understand. Finally I can talk with people. Finally we can go buy books for my daughter and she can read them. Finally she went to school, you know, because in Denmark we wasn't able to go anywhere. We was sitting every day at home during 3 months, and it was for sure very depressing because you are sitting and you don't know what you are waiting for actually. So UK, it was some kind of a breath of fresh air for me personally, and I find that I feel myself comfortable in this country. So that's how actually I end up being in UK. So thank you for watching this video. I wish you all happy holidays. Let in New Year all your plans for sure will happen as you wish and even better. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to watch more videos. Bye bye!